Good morning and overcome today. My name is Jeremiah Nkosi and welcome to Sold Out TV. Today I'm not with my young beautiful wife. I'm with my pillars of strength, my sons. This is Joseph Miriotle and this is Sihle Sipesihle Ntuli, as we like to call it full. Yes, on today's episode, we're taking it deeper as a perspective of a father and sons, how we got about knowing each other, and how our journey has been like. Because remember, as I mentioned before, that blended families is when two people, one from a different kingdom and the other one from a different kingdom, they come together to make a matrimonial kingdom. So this part of this kingdom, when I met my young beautiful wife, she had a son by the name of Joseph. You may greet people.
Welcome to today's episode. I'm Joseph. Yes.
And in my previous marriage, when I met my then wife, she had Sipesihle.
Hi guys, I'm the oldest kid.
Yes, I've been in a journey of blended families for twice now. Because when I met my first wife, Sihle was probably 4 years old at the time.
Yeah, I was 4.
You were 4, right?
Mm.
Yes, he was living in Durban. So, got married and had to
Yeah.
father him, yeah.
I think I was still staying with Ukok because mom was traveling back and forth to Johannesburg and Durban.
Yes. So, today we're just gonna talk a bit about our journey. First with Sihle at the time, then with Joseph. Because when I met Joseph, funny enough, when I met my young beautiful wife, Joseph was 4 again. So,
What a
so I think,
coincidence.
what a coincidence indeed. So I think there's something about me and the boys at 4. Meaning maybe I need to investigate further what is happening at the age of 4 with the boys. Yeah, maybe there is something there that we can find with the boys at 4. As you can see, us being alone, I thought from the father's point of view and my sons, who are not my biological sons, we'll share the love we have, the difficulties that we had to overcome together, and these difficulties that we had to overcome together brought us to be where we are today. See, I'm even taking my hat off for these boys for allowing me to father them. It is not easy from a boy point of view or a son point of view to allow someone to father you, knowing that this is not your father. So hats off to them. So I'll start with Sihle just to break the ice. That, yes, a bit more about your father.
Bit more about my father. Okay, so originally my father was not always in the picture. I think I only met him like 3 times, like after when I was 4 years old. So he was there in the beginning, not all the time, just to say like hello, give what he had to give, and then after that he would leave, go on about his business. So then I'd say after that I've only like met him like 3 times after that. So the next time I was 10, I saw him just for a quick lunch because mom insisted that we'd see him. I wasn't too excited because I don't know the man. And still up to this day, I still don't know who he really is. And then later on, met him again when I was 12. Also just for like an hour because I was buying a phone that day. And then the third time I met up with him was, I actually don't even remember how old I was, but it was after 12, along the times before some Christmas we had, and we went to pay a visit to his mom, my gran, and she actually said he's around, so if we would like to wait and see if like he would want to talk. So he did come by, but he was just dropping a few things. He was in a hurry. Still never really got to speak to him. So my life with knowing my father is that he's never present. That's the relationship we had. And then also encounter over the phone. He was a bit upset. I think he was drunk. I had some encounter. He texted someone I used to date, and then upset at her, and then became a whole mess. We started talking about that, and then also that brought back bad memories of who he is and relationship problems as well. So knowing my father from my perspective is that never around, not the best person. I don't want to get to know him, but still, he is my father. That's who my father is.
Yes, it's, as much as difficult it is, these are the truths that we need to strengthen others. So, Joseph, your daddy, yes. What will you say about him?
He was a nice person.
Still is.
Yeah, he is.
Still is.
Very nice
Yeah,
person.
I visit him sometimes on like holidays, maybe Christmas, sometimes Christmas. Yeah, we get to like call each other on the phone. Yes. Yeah, and we like spend time a lot together. When I go visit him in Kimberley, I go to him when he goes to work. I go with him, and yeah, it's fun. Okay.
Yeah, the main reason why we're doing things this way is that, as I said, I'm taking my hat off for them, is that now there comes me, who's supposed to father them, and you must remember, blood is thicker than water. However, love overcomes everything, and love conquers everything. So for my side now, it's not the comparisons of fathers, it's the struggle that we go through as fathers in making sure that we raise our sons and daughters the best way we could. So, Sihle, how does our relationship makes you think now of you being a father one day?
I'd say that the fact that you brought us up like the best way you could to make time for everyone. Because in the beginning, we never used to stay together all the time. I think Joseph would like go between his father and come see us. And for my part, I'd always stay with mom because she's always been there from the get-go. And then with you coming into the picture, I would say in the beginning it was difficult because it's another person. Same way with now, she has a new man in her life and she's planning to move on with him. So same story, like it's hard at first, but once you get comfortable with the person and you see who they really are, like, and you bring them into your life, I would say that you, when you came in, we never really had the best relationship, never used to talk quite a lot. And then, yeah, only recently, because we spend more time now. That now I'm thinking about it because I have more time on my hands than I did before, because I was always going back and forth between work, school, for like the past 3 years. So now, yeah, I'd say the relationship, it grew from not talking every day to at least trying to make time when we can, just to have clarity what's going on in each other's lives, since I'm not always here.
Yeah, distance is it's one thing that in a blended family always plays a role, and time, and trying to find a balance between raising children together that are blended, and now the difficulties that we encounter all throughout the day always brings a question onto my mind that, am I doing enough? Am I closing the gap of the lack of the father? Am I doing too much? So there's a very thin line between being a father and being the other father, because I must always try and find a balance to say, what will the other father do in these circumstances? So, like Joseph's dad, he does what Joseph likes in computers. So, Joseph, how do you now blend or put things together that when you are with your dad, then you guys talk your computer stuff. Then when you come back home, where that is not, the knowledge is not that much. How do you strike the balance between the two?
It's very hard at some time because like I go there and like and then I all of a sudden get very used to it, and then when I come back, things change. Like they change back and forth each time I visit. So it's like hard, you know. Yes.
So as young as you are, if there is a boy out there whose parents are not together, but now he finds himself in a blended family, what will you advise them to do?
Yeah. Appreciate what your parents are trying to do for you. Don't at least like show them the love that you can give them. Don't show them hate, or don't try to respect them as much as you can. Just try. Yeah.
Just to be open-minded.
Yes.
Yep, same goes for you.
Yeah, just to be open-minded. Like, give the person room to, like, welcome you, and you also welcome them into your life. And then just to see both perspectives, like where you guys can go from here and build a relationship. It might not always be the best relationship, but at least try and make it to work. So, yeah, that's what I'd say.
When you look back, Sihle, in our lives together, what do you think was the most uncomfortable thing, or most thing that made you really upset about our relationship at the time? More especially when I had to break up from your mother, my former wife. So how did that make you feel? Because remember, you didn't know your father. Now there's this new father. Suddenly, even this father is going.
From my point of view and how it made me feel, like I was kind of hurt by the whole fact that you guys were getting separated, because I did welcome you into my life, and yeah, even though we did have our disagreements from time to time, just the fact that things were falling apart and things were also not going well between the family itself, like, yeah, that made me feel hurt at that point. But since knowing that you guys did work it through, even though you're not together, you still, because we have Uminentle now, so that relationship, even though it's not the best, but it's ideal for the situation, because we still have to be together. Uminentle is your daughter, we have to plan around that. At first I was hurt that things were not going well, but due to us still being together, just in different boats, if I can put it like that.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd say it's making sense. We just working around every obstacle we might face, like through the love, I'd say. Because one minute Minantle will be this side, and then she'll go back and forth. I'll also do the same. And then yeah, we just have to work around it. And yeah, right now I'm happy with what we have.
Right now, we're happy with it's comforting. The most difficult thing raising boys as a father is that you don't want to imprint yourself onto them, because they're individual people also. But at the same time, you don't want to not advise when they need advice. So now you need to strike a balance. Like I'm talking from my own experience. I mean, these are my sons. You know, I have 5 children. For me, I don't look at them that this one's got a different father, this one got they're all my children. And now my sons are always try by all means to make sure that whatever negative energy I have at the time, I do not impose on them. Now, Joseph, you live with me full time. What is the thing that makes you hate the most if I don't do it, or if I do it now, that makes you think that, Daddy, why did you have to do this?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Doesn't know. Nothing you can think about. You're a happy kid.
Now, remember when you had to, I spoke about this in one of the episodes, that when you had to fly alone to Kimberley and fly back from Kimberley, how was that experience for you?
Well, I didn't like it because like I wanted to go with someone, but I don't know what is the problem. But now I still don't like it when I go alone and stuff. Yeah.
So for you, it's not a good experience to fly alone to visit your other daddy.
No.
So now, what will you advise other children that find themselves in the situation where they have they stay with another daddy, yet they've got another daddy? What would you advise them to do when they have to visit? Should they stay, not visit? Should they visit? And how do you think they should do?
I think they should visit. They should visit, but they mustn't like complain that the parents are not like going with them, because like maybe they need to go to a meeting or at work, and and they should be calm when they going alone.
I remember the other day you even met a friend on your way, a guy a boy that you were with in a plane. Then you happened to be your daddy's friend's son, something like that. How was that experience?
It was a coincidence.
Mm.
Let me just say that. Yeah.
Yeah, these are the difficulties that we face as fathers that have in a blended family. The difficulty that we go through all the time is that we need to find the balance, and in finding the balance, we need to make sure that our kids, more especially boys. Remember, boys, they have that element of not forgetting, both the good and the bad. But you need to make sure that whatever bad that has happened does not affect them, because remember, they're carrying their own seeds. I can imagine, Sihle, at your age now, you're 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22 now.
Still going.
On strong to 100. Now, imagine now when he has to be a father. Definitely he doesn't want to find himself in a compromising situation where, what do you think?
Well, for starters, I don't believe in divorcing.
Yep.
So whoever you going to marry should be the one and the only one till death do us part. Well, those are the vows that you say to this person. So whatever you have to overcome regarding that marriage, at least try to work through it, communicate. I know in my position right now, as the person I am and the growth that I've overcome, I know I still have some flaws and I'm still growing as a person. So I do believe in marriage, and I do want to have a good marriage, a stable marriage where communication is not a big deal and we can work around any issues we have to work around. So I would say working towards marriage, like what I would do different, try to make everything work. If it does happen, and God forbid that things don't work out, at least it should be with reasons to we both have a mutual decision upon it. Not because we're fighting and we're starting to hate each other. Like, I wouldn't want anything to happen due to bad blood. So, I'm referring this to my father mostly, and also to what happened between you and Mom. It was just very chaotic, for lack of better words. So that whole situation of getting court orders and stuff like that, it wasn't a peaceful road. So I would like to avoid any such disputes and just have a peaceful marriage in the future.
I like that. Straight from the son's point of view, that whatever we do as parents has either a negative effect or a positive effect. but that sharpens them to be better people in life. Joseph, as young as you are, what do you think about having a brother who is not your father's son, and is not even my, So, how do you relate with Sihle? As we fondly call him Puti, how do you relate with him?
I try to have fun with him, talk to him a lot. Yeah, I try to relate with him.
What do you miss the most when he's not there?
Like having fun together, playing games.
Wow.
We play a whole lot of games.
A whole lot of games. Yeah.
And plus we have the same interest now because he's turning into a computer boy and I do IT.
Mm.
So now we have something to talk about.
So do you guys see yourselves saying growing old together as brothers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And you even say it together.
That's the vision. Well, we have to work around any obstacles we might face. We haven't faced any obstacles. It's just we have similar interests, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Just that he likes Minecraft. I don't understand it, but I do play it whenever I have to.
Yeah. Yes. Now we brought the twins, Jedediah and Keziah. What do you think of them?
They make noise.
It's just too much.
It's a lot to handle, but this is now we have. You guys have distractions now, so now I'd say we have more time to ourselves, and just that now the attention is drifting away because they're also growing up. They need to be taught a few things, be disciplined, show love, yeah, and all of that. So having them around is actually quite fun. It's just that they get a bit rowdy.
Joseph?
Sometimes it's too much, but sometimes, yeah, I do play with them a lot. But
Especially
like,
Jedediah.
yes, like JDD every morning, like I don't even at least, he doesn't even at least greet me. He just wakes up and then he comes to the living room. If he finds me there, he said, "Joseph, let's play games." Not even at least greet, at least sit down for a little. "Joseph, let's play games, let's play games."
So this morning, he came to the bed and he jumped on the bed. I think he was still sleeping. Yeah, he came and he sat on me this morning. It's like with Keziah. The time when you guys were not around, I think you guys went for a wedding, I think.
Yeah.
Last year. And then it was auntie. You guys were coming back late at night.
Yeah.
And the time when you got back, Keziah was still up with me, and she was still screaming, saying she wants to sleep in the bed with me. And then, yeah, I think those moments, they're hilarious, and we make memories like that.
Right. What will you change in our family if we had to change?
Get a bigger house.
Say it louder.
Yeah, just to get a bigger house, because, yeah, there's a lot of us.
Joseph?
Bigger car.
A bigger car?
Yeah.
God must help me. Yeah, besides those things, our living condition, what will you change?
Yeah.
What about it?
Every morning, at least sit down. Yeah. And then when he asked me something, he said, "No, do it." And then no, you must say please. Don't just say what it. You must say please. And you just continue, do it, no, do it. Yeah.
Teacher?
What would I change?
Yeah.
I'll just say the amount of time we have together to have more of that. Because I'm never around actually, because I always have school, and the amount of schoolwork I have recently due to this pandemic. So yeah, just to change that, because I was planning on coming, I think last month, but then the amount of assignments I had, even this week that passed by, I had a lot of stuff going on. So just to manage time, get more time to spend with the family. I think that's the only thing I'll change.
Okay. Yes, as we go to the end of our discussion, from my side, the advice that I will give fathers who find themselves in a blended family, or let me put it this way, fathers that are fathering sons, like I'm fathering my sons now, is that no matter how difficult it is, and trust you in me, it is difficult. Try and try and try and try. No matter what, try and make sure that you know what makes them tick, what they're not happy about, and what makes them happy. Speaking about happiness, what makes you happy, Joseph, now?
Video
Stuff I do.
games.
The stuff I like to do. Like going on computers, hanging out with my family. Yeah. Those kind of stuff.
Yeah. Trisha?
I'll tell you what makes me happy is the course I'm doing now, because I've learned to like IT. Because remember I wanted to do graphic design
Yeah.
at first. So that makes me happy, that the stuff that I'm learning now, and yeah, just being around people that I love brings me comfort.
If you're in a position now of being my sons now, looking at me as the father, what do you think I should change to father you better?
To father me better.
Yep.
I'd say we don't really have a sit down as much as we should. So just to have that time, even though the house is chaotic, which I do understand, just that time where we all sit down and just come together and talk and give each other some advice, see each person's point of view. So yeah, that's the only thing.
Oh, you're fine. You don't have to change. It's perfect. Just do it all. Yeah.
I'm just doing my bit.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of doing my bit, fathers out there, the struggle is real. But with God, all things are possible. I never thought to myself that I will have sons that I met at the age of 4,
The both of us.
for both of them. And no matter what happened in the past, I'm still with them. And the plan is to grow old together with them. As Sitla says, that we'll need to sit down and spend more time. I remember we had a discussion the other day where we had to, things change and see things from the same point of view.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think we were standing outside the house.
Yeah, standing outside the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was that experience for you?
That experience was, I think, eye-opening, because I never thought to myself that you would be one to listen to my problems. If needed be, I had problems and had to say them out loud. So yeah, it was just an eye-opening moment to say, okay, this person is here to also listen, and not just to be a father.
Wow. So what will you say to a father out there?
Who's in a blended
Blended
family.
family.
Just give the next person time. If your son is not as willing enough to sit down and talk to you, give him time. Or one day will come around.
Come around. Joseph? What should the fathers do when they're in the blended families?
Maybe spend more time with sons when they need it, and also when you feel like it, as much as you can.
It goes back to the first time we started the blended families, where we learned that money is good, but it runs out. Inheritance is good, but it will disappear. But time well spent with our children it builds the family to be stronger. And it makes us, as you can hear from my sons now today, the only thing they keep on going back to,
It's time.
time. speaking of time, our time is up for now, but be rest assured that there's still more coming, because there's, some hurts take time to heal, but definitely they do heal.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah, that is true. So, yeah, it all goes back to just giving the next person time. So, whatever it is, you just have to work around it. Give yourself a chance to grow and learn to be a better person. So, yeah.
Time. Any last words to our viewers, our supporters, those who are with us? What will you say? Anything that comes to your mind?
Watch more of our videos.
Watch more of our videos. Yeah. And subscribe and like. Stay tuned.
Stay
for the
tuned
next one.
for the next one. Yes, as we promised, the next one it will be the entire squad. We had to bring the boys together with Daddy, so that you'll see that no matter the difficulties we went through, the matter of difficulties we're going through now, we try by all means to make sure that whatever hurt I went through, whatever hurt they went through, we work through together and we spend time. So mine to you is that openly, I will spend more time with them to make sure that they become better fathers than me. Because the objective of being a father is to make sure that those who are fathering, they become better than you, so that they can be better fathers, so that the main thing is to end the violence, because violence sparks from anger and deep hate that was never resolved. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m., Sold Out TV. You're great from the beginning. See you soon.